If you don't do it, and I don't have that alcohol screening assessment, the only thing that I can really sentence you to is the maximum time. And I don't want
The
to.
paper,
What?
the paper with
What
all the
paper?
lists on it. What is Von Schwartz?
That's for your alcohol screening and assessment.
Is that somebody I'm supposed to go to? What does that name stand for?
That's somebody that you need to call to set up an appointment so that they can interview you and do an assessment.
Okay.
And Your Honor, my office,
Today's the date and time that was originally set for sentencing. I have reviewed or received and reviewed the recommendation from probation with Ms. Johnson. She has not, we do acknowledge she has not completed the alcohol screening and assessment through Von Schwartz, and she did miss a test on July 1st. I did discuss this with her yesterday on the phone and advised her to go to community corrections as soon as possible to try to test. She informed me, and so did her father, who is here with her today, that she did go to community corrections this morning before court and was there for about 45 minutes. And they said she was unable to test this morning. We are respectfully requesting that the court not remand her at this time and that we adjourn the sentencing out in August to give her the opportunity to complete the alcohol screening and assessment. She is gainfully employed at St. Joe's. She does not want to lose that job. In the alternate, if the court is inclined to remand her in both speaking with Ms. Johnson and her father, our request would be to potentially allow that remand to happen a couple weeks in the future so she can take time off work at St. Joe's so she does not lose that job. Other than that, Your Honor, we respectfully request an adjournment of the sentencing.
and Teresa Claire on behalf of probation, Your Honor, I did communicate with community corrections this morning. She did go over, and she wasn't scheduled to do a test today, so she did not test. She did do her download of her scram. I just confirmed with them that there was no violations on the scram. However, she had not reported to them after June 15th. So there was quite a bit of info that they had to download on that. So I do know that there was no violations on the scram. However, probation also wants to point out to the court that this court did direct her back on April 3rd, I believe, and warned her about any further mistesting. So she was given a warning by this court back in April about her remaining compliant with the testing order.
Why?
Why what?
Why'd you miss a test? I mean, I gave you a huge break back in April and just told you, just don't miss the test. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
And then when you pled, why didn't you do your alcohol screening and assessment?
Forgot to print it out.
What?
I said I forgot to print it out.
Oh. They do so much. I mean, I didn't send you the last time. I'll re-refer to defendant to Von Schwartz for completion of her alcohol screening and assessment. Young lady, understand something. If you don't do it, and I don't have that alcohol screening and assessment, the only thing that I can really sentence you to is the maximum time. And I don't want
The
to.
paper,
What?
the paper with
What
all
paper?
the lists on it. What is Von Schwartz?
That's for your alcohol screening and assessment.
Is that somebody I'm supposed to go to? What does that name stand for?
That's somebody that you need to call to set up an appointment so that they can interview you and do an assessment.
Okay.
And Your Honor, my office, I know that the clerk's office sends things out. My office also sent an email to her on June 5th, which gave her the packet and the information for the alcohol assessment in addition to the information to complete the victim's impact.
Need to pay a $75 referral fee. Do you have that?
No.
Adjourner sentenced at August 28, 2024, 9 a.m. Young lady, you are leaving me with no options. And I have a feeling that if you don't follow this, that I'm going to end up sending you for the maximum time. I don't want to do that. I'm going to end up finding you in contempt and sending you. So in this, I'm going to, for the bond violation, I'm going to remand her for 3 days. Washtenaw County Jail for the bond violation. Defendant's remanded. Just go. Is that Dad?
Yes, Your Honor.
Get her bag. Dad, hang on one second. Go ahead, take her bag. Come on up to the, can you come up to the phone? What's your name, sir?
Tony Johnson.
Okay. Can you help try to get her through the, I mean,
Yes, I will definitely make sure that she does it. She lives with her mom, so I don't kind of know the things that kind of goes on. So I'm just coming to support, and I just was hoping that you didn't take her to jail because
I
she
know,
need this job so bad.
I know. And I, trust me, I did not want to. I just, Miss Clara, can you give to Dad the Von Swartz information and the victim's impact information so that he has it, so that I get where he is, so that he knows what she has to do.
Yes, Your
So
Honor, and I do know, I heard him in the hallway, really getting after her for not doing it. So I think that he will.
Well, I don't doubt
If
that.
you stop by my office, or I'll ask them to give you the paper printed out.
Is that in this
It's
building?
right down the hallway,
Okay.
and so I'll tell them you're coming right down.
And,
Okay.
I have the $75 for any fee or whatever that she might have needed to pay. I do have the money, so.
And good afternoon, Lord Deputy Assistant Public Defender, with on behalf of Mr. Merrick, who's sitting to my right.
All right. Your name, sir?
David Merrick.
Thank you. Ms. Yagi, your motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. We are asking for reduction in Mr. American's bonds. I won't go into all the detail I did in my motion. I'll just mention a few things recently. Obviously, I know the court's well aware he's been in jail for quite some time. And the biggest thing that I wanted to highlight today are the changes that have taken place during his incarceration. I think one of the biggest ones is his meetings with EMH, his medication. He's now stable on his long-acting medication, injectable. I've been in touch with his sponsor and his parents, all of whom are very supportive. His sponsor told me that he has a great network of people. His sponsor's name is Patrick, and Patrick told me that both Patrick and Mr. Merrick have a network of people, a sober network of people. There are meetings that I know Patrick attends at the Alano Club weekly. There are also Zoom option meetings that they've been talking about. I know Mr. Merrick has interest in going to the Alano Club for the meetings with Patrick, weekly meetings. And the other thing that I just want to highlight, because I just spoke with his parents again, well, his mom again today, and his mom told me that she notices the difference in the way that Mr. Merrick is speaking, in terms of, ironically, his mom said that when he gets out, he needs to come up with a schedule. He needs to come up with, this is what I'm gonna do today, and this is my business I need to take care of. And she's already been talking to him about that, and she told me that Mr. Merrick is actually nervous about messing up, and he actually really wants to do what he's supposed to do. And she told me that that's a difference, because if he really is motivated and nervous and wanting to prove that he can do it and he will comply, she thinks that's a good sign. And so she, that's something she shared with me today. And she basically has been talking with him about that plan moving forward. He has a social worker at his apartment who I verified actually would come to him. So if he's released, I said, where would you absolutely need to go if you're released? And it's his apartment, and his social worker could come visit, or social worker, caseworker, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, would come to his apartment to sort out his housing issue, try to, get that payment, get that sorted out. And then, that would be step one, and then the meetings, would be step two. But it does seem like he is in a much better place now than he was previously.
All right, and his housing is in place?
His apartment is in place. His mom was there this week, and yes.
All right. Response. All right. Samariquin, it's like you've been here forever.
I get to take a seat, Your Honor.
Yeah.
A seat.
Yeah. As Ms. Yagi was talking and arguing, and she was talking about the differences in you. A lot of times people think judges are sitting up here and they don't notice differences in people, and I notice a difference in you. There was a point where you came in, and I don't know if you recall this, you had actually been before me on something else. You then came before me that time. And I'll just tell you, you were in bad shape.
I've had plenty of time to stabilize on my meds, get right with my 12-step program, and basically make myself fit for being on the streets, because honestly, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was right where I was supposed to be good.
Yeah.
And right now, it's like, I feel like if I'm released, whatever the conditions are, I'll be able to meet them because I'm competent and I'm sober, and I'm working the program.
All right. How many AANA meetings do you go to?
I prefer to go every day, but if I'm on home confinement, I could see shaving that number down just a little bit, because it's kind of hard to get a hold of Mr. Casey every day,
Right.
I just kind of leave to go to my meeting or wherever I want to go whenever I can get a hold of him. So it's like, 2-3 times a week would probably be just as good as 7.
Well, maybe. Let me ask you this. Do you think you need home confinement?
Honestly, like,
No, David, be honest with me. I mean, here's what I want. I would like to release you, but I want you to be a success. That's the most important thing to me.
So do you want to know the truth of the question you just asked?
Yes.
If you release me without home confinement, you may as well leave me.
Gotcha. You know what? No, I know. And
I do plan on, if there were home confinement granted, to comply with it. To not tell Mr. Casey I'm going somewhere and then go somewhere else like I did before.
yeah. Okay.
I discovered that was not the way to go.
You know what, David? You just gave me the answer to whether or not I should release you. Because I'm going to tell you, if I had asked you that question before, you would have lied to me. You would not have been able to bring yourself to tell me that you needed that.
It was hard. It was hard to admit to
Yeah.
you and to myself.
Yep. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, and I'm going to do it this way, Michelle. I think it's probably going to be the best way to do this. I'm going to release a defendant on a PR. I'm going to sign an order for home confinement GPS tether. I will then set another hearing date, but what I want to see is after he's had a chance to talk with his mother, his worker, they go through details and kind of get himself adjusted. I want an order or something in terms of a plan for how he's going to proceed. Okay. I was just, I think we're set for an exam on Tuesday.
That's correct.
Before who, me? No, Judge Freshour. Yeah, you're right.
Thank you, sir.
Perhaps we could sign me up for. double duty
Perhaps,
that day.
what?
Double duty that day.
You mean double?
Well, I'm in here for that. It comes to you.
Tell you what, that's, well, no, I get what you're saying there, David. David, we're gonna do something a little bit different here, okay? Because your exam is set for this Tuesday, all right? It's before Judge Freshour. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to adjourn that preliminary examination to October 1st, but also before Judge Freshour. So I'm not changing the judge on that, okay? In the interim, that's going to allow Ms. Yagi to get the information that I just requested to me, allow you to settle in, figure out how you're gonna do things, and allow Ms. Yagi to get an order to me prior to that point in time. Okay? That sound good? So it's like double duty, like you said, but it's just,
Are you asking me if a PR bond and home confinement sounds good and then until October 1st?
well, right. You'll be on that till October 1st, but Ms. Yagi's gonna get an order to me that's gonna sort of structure what you're doing
Sure.
in the interim, okay?
Yeah, as long as I can get hold of Mr. Casey to go to my meetings, I'll go to all of them.
Okay.
And if I can't get a hold of anyone, here's the catch. I'm not gonna leave the house if I can't get a hold of them.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set your bond at a $25,000 personal recognizance bond, GPS, home confinement prior to release. Okay, so as soon as they can get that on you, so it may not be till tomorrow, but as soon as they can get that on you, they'll release you. Ms. Yagi, I would expect an order within a week or 10 days. Okay, and that way, see it. And in the interim, I'm sure counsel, they'll be trying to work something out to try to resolve the case itself. So this may all work out for you. Okay, David?
That'd be great.
And I apologize, Chairman, just for my clarification. So prior to the order, would Mr. Merquin have permission to leave for a meeting, or does that not happen until I get the?
Nothing's gonna happen until he can't leave for his meetings. You'll have to do them by Zoom or else until such time as there's an order in place which structures exactly what he's doing.
Okay. So we'll
Okay.
be in touch very soon. Okay. Thank you.
And I'll let Judge Freshour know I took one off of her. I don't think she'll be upset. We'll see. Okay.
Mr. Fritter, look at me. Can you imagine what life is like when someone has to walk on eggshells because they have the fear that if they make someone mad in the smallest respect of having socks not in the damn drawer?
On or about September 19, 2024, an officer conducted a follow-up in regards to an assault on a family case. Upon further investigation, the officer made contact with the complaining witness, who reported that the defendant had been harassing her since September 18, 2024, by sending her videos, voicemails, and text messages containing horrible remarks, approximately 50 to 60 messages in total. In the voicemails, the defendant curses at her, asking, "Where are you? Why the fuck aren't you at work?" and calling her various names. Additionally, the complainant showed the officer text messages of the defendant telling the complaining witness, "Kill yourself and I want to watch you suffocate, and your family hates you." The complaining witness indicated that the continual harassment is making her fear him even more. Complaining witness was able to give officers the defendant's identifying information and positively identify the defendant as a person who has been harassing her.
I see that he has also picked up a felony assault against this complaining witness as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what happened in that one? And I'm assuming it's the same date as this one, so I'm assuming it's out of the same transaction.
I'm not sure. So it says that on, I don't believe so. It says that on September 18th in Harris County, officers were dispatched to an assault. The complaining witness advised that the defendant came home upset about socks not being in the closet. The defendant punched the complaining witness with a closed fist on her foot twice, on her right thigh and twice on her left thigh, causing pain. The complaining witness advised that the defendant grabbed her by the arm and forcibly shoved her out of the house, throwing her on the porch. She advised that she felt pain, and she advised that this has been an ongoing issue for the past 2 years. The officers observed purple and green bruises on her arm, foot, and her legs. The bruises were green, purple, and red and of significant size.
Is there a no contact order in this case?
Judge, who's the defendant?
This is Mr. Fritter. He hasn't harassed, Mr. Fritter, let me tell you something now. You scare me. And you scare me something good. You have since 14 assault, trespass, deadly conduct, assault, DWI, forgery, and now a harassment and a felony assault.
Judge, there has been a note filed, but there is no protective order in this case.
Is there no contact in the felony case whatsoever?
I'm checking the law conditions. It's no threatening or harassing at this time. Would ask if that be a no contact in this court, Judge.
I don't see that the rip has been.
Are you Miss Lisco?
Yes, sir.
That's Miss Lisco right there. Come up, ma'am. Come up. I'm sending you for a drug and alcohol test right now, Mr. Fretter. I want to protect you as much as I can. No one has to have this kind of treatment whatsoever for any reason. And I will do everything in my power to protect you. All I need you to do is tell me. All I need is please give me the word. Mr. Fritter, look at me. You so much. One, I'm Can you imagine what life is like when someone has to walk on eggshells because they have the fear that if they make someone mad in the smallest respect of having socks not in the damn drawer, they're liable to get a beating? Can you imagine what life is like to live with that kind of fear? You're going to live it with me now, because one false move, I'm going to make your bond so high your head will spontaneously combust. But no one, and I mean no one, should have to live with that kind of fear. I'm sending you now for a drug and alcohol test because I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. And I don't know if I'm going to allow you to have contact with Miss Lisk. But if I find that you treat anyone or put anyone in fear or put anyone in harm's way, so help me, I will grow horn and tails because I will be so upset. And it will be on you. Do you understand?
Yes.
Abel,
Yes.
I'm going to keep Mr. Fretter so close to me that it's just ridiculous.
Yes, sir.
I'm entering what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection. This is a court order that identifies her as a protected individual. You're not to have any kind of communication whatsoever. You're not supposed to have any, you will not have any threatening or harassing contact. What is threatening or harassing? doesn't matter what you think is threatening or harassing. It's what she perceives. So if I go like this, is that threatening or harassing? It most certainly is. And it's enough for me to put you in jail and make your bond $150,000, maybe 50, maybe 20. But I will do, Mr. Freder, I will do everything in my power to protect every single person of this county. And I don't care if you're kicking, screaming, crying because you go to jail and don't have anyone to bond you out.
Your husband and wife of 10 years, this is kind of difficult situation that we live together.
I want to protect you, ma'am. And you know, the problem is that now that he's picked up these two cases, times will be just even more stressful. We have these protective orders. They're basically like cooling off motions so that, you know, you can separate, enough time will pass. People can kind of cool down, you know, so they're not under the stress of the excitement and then unleash on you. The last thing I want is for you to suffer any kind of harm whatsoever, you know, and I that's all I want. You know, all I'm asking is how things should be normal. Like, I'm not asking him for him to do Pythagoras theorem here. So, I don't know. You know, what I'd like is if you please just talk to our DAs here. But I'd like you to have their phone number at the minimum so that should anything ever whatsoever, all you have to do is let us know. And then
I have been in contact with the DAs, actually about the assault.
I'm here for you. And I want to make sure that you're okay. You know, I've given him a lawyer. He knows what's expected of him. And I'm going to drug test him like crazy to make sure that he's not using alcohol or dope. In fact, I mean, I'm going to test him 2 times a week. I mean, I'm setting him now because I want to know what, if anything, is in his system, and then we'll go from there.
Judge, he will come back positive, but that's prior use from.
What were you going to test positive for, Mr. Freder?
Marijuana.
Okay.
And ketamine, and probably some other stuff that could have been in the ketamine. But I mean, straight up, that's probably it.
Mr. Freder, I'm going to test you. These are your bond conditions that are going to apply to you now. And if you fail to live up to these bond conditions, I'm just going to let you know. That's it. You will appear to me here 2 times a week to take drug test. And if I find anything is in your system, and I don't care what it is, I'm going to lock you up. You're ordered not to use any kind of dope or alcohol. And if you can't get this monkey off your back, because I am now giving you the opportunity to do it on your own. If you're incapable of doing it on your own, then I'm going to do it for you. Do you understand? No dope, no alcohol. And when I mean no alcohol from any source. No isopropyl alcohol, cakes, candies, foods, gums, energy drinks, tequila, lollipops, hair dye. I've heard it all, and I don't care. You come to me test positive, you'll stay with me. I also want you 3 times a week to do anger management classes so that we can deal with the anger issues. Look at me. 3 times a week. And I want a piece of paper showing me that you've done it, the date, time, location of where you've done it, so that I can verify that you've done it. And if you don't do it, you will stay with me. You now have the opportunity to address these things on your own. If you don't, you will be doing it with me. And if I get one, and I mean one breath that she's been mistreated in any way, shape, or fashion, holy freaking moly, And then, ma'am, if you'd be so kind, please, I'll have you speak to them here momentarily. Rachel, this is my card. If you ever need anything, all you have to do is get in contact with me. And I'm here for you. Whatever you need, anytime, day or night. I don't care.